So hello my dear friends and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Learning with Ganesh, and today I am just going to explain you whatever I explained in my previous video, that is electricity class 10 CBSE syllabus, and we'll just continue the second part of electricity. It's very important chapter and very important thing just I'm going to explain you. Now the very first thing is that in a previous video I have explained you that some materials conduct electricity and some do not. Means some are insulator and some are conductors. So good conductor of electricity means, suppose this is a wire. If I put a current here, if I touch this or if I touch with any other tester and all, I will see that current is flowing. So electric current is nothing but a flow of charge. But if this is a plastic, if I apply a current here, if I check here whether the current is flowing or not, here we won't see any current, because whatever current supplied to here, it is remaining here, it is not flowing. That means this is a insulator. It's a bad conductor of heat. Now what is the basic difference? How metals conduct electricity, that we will see. In the previous one I have already explained you. Now I am just explaining you the chapter electricity. Suppose this is a wire. I am just making a very thick wire, a wire. Okay. Now I told you that every material, every matter, whether it is a solid, liquid or gas, they are all composed of small particles. They are called atoms. And if it is atom, you see atom. What atom? Atom means, suppose in the center of the atom we will have the nucleus in which neutron and proton are there, and here electrons will move in the fixed orbit. Electrons will move in the fixed orbit. Means here in the K shell 2 electrons, in second shell there are 8 electrons, and so on, so on, so on. So generally metals and non-metals, we'll just discuss metals and non-metals on the basis of why they do not electricity and why they are conducting electricity. That's what I'm just explaining you very briefly. You just watch it very carefully. Now you see, non-metal is a nucleus and here is a orbits are there in which the electrons will move. Now you see, proton is positively charged particle and all electrons are negatively charged particles. Means in metals we will see more number of cells compared to the non-metals. That means in the outermost orbit, whatever electrons are left, if they are not octet. If it is octet, that means this is a stable atom. If any 2 or 3 electrons are left, then what happened? You see the distance. Here it will have the ripple, the attraction, force of attraction will be more here. But the moment electrons are going away from the proton, the force is decreasing. Means here this electron won't have that much force of attraction to pull from here, because the distance varies. In that case what happens? In that case such electrons will come out. Such electrons will come out, maybe 1 or 2. But here non-metal, it is the atom is small compared to this non-metal, compared to this metal. Here the proton are there, here electrons are there, negative particle, much attraction is there, here also much attraction is there. So in that case there is no chance to have a free electrons. Electrons won't come out due to the intermolecular force. But here, as the distance varies, these electrons will move away. So here same thing happens here in electrons, in an atom, because this is a metal. Suppose a copper metal, a copper wire, it's a wire. In a copper wire many atoms are there. In all the atoms, the outermost electrons will come out and they move freely here and there, here and there, here and there. They're free. They are free to move, but they won't come out from the wire, but they will move inside the wire. If suppose this is a copper wire or aluminum wire, what happens? The free electrons will move inside the wire, they won't come out. Why they are free? Because since if it is octet, so all will come, they will make a stable. But if 1 or 2 electrons are left in the outermost orbit, then in that case, that electrons will come out and move inside the conductor. A wire, what is copper or aluminum, but that is not case with the non-metal. So there are no free electrons. So if they are free electrons, so that means what happens? These electrons are nothing but they are negatively charged. So this charge, this flow of charge is electricity. This flow of charge is electricity. Now, this is a wire. Okay, this is a wire. Now I am just applying a battery. Okay, so always the bigger one will have the positive charge and the smaller one will have negative charge. So electron will flow in this manner. What happened? This is electrons will go, so current will go, the current will flow in this manner. So means see, this is plus. Okay, this is plus. Then what happened? These are minus. Although many pluses are there, many plus atoms are also there, and these are the free electrons which came out from this atom. Are you following it? Are you following it or not? These are the atoms and these are the electrons which came out. Okay, now what happened? So now what happened? Here is a negative. Here also current will flow. Okay, so it's a battery. We have connected to the plus point here and the minus point here. Then what happens? Since the positive charge, it is a positive current, what happened? All the negative charges will attract towards the positive because it's a positive end. It's a positive terminal. All the minus signs charges will attract. But here what happens? Since this is minus, so here also minus charge is applying. Minus and minus, they ripple. So here it's getting a much force to ripple. So the all electrons are moving this side, and here is the positive, so it will attract. So the positive means the current is going in this side and the motion of electrons will go in this side. Just the current will be just opposite to the motion of electrons. It is calculated. Always remember, current, the motion of the current is always in the opposite of the direction of the electrons. Is it clear? Now this is what, but this is not case with the plastic or wood because they don't have free electrons here to move. Since they have free electrons, so the charge is coming, they are free, so they are attracting, but here the minus sign is there, this minus and this minus will repel, and here is the attraction, so the direction is unidirectional. All the negative charge will move in one direction, that is energy. So current is flowing. So this is what we say conductor and insulator. So insulator, they won't flow any charges, but conductor, flow of charges there. So that is why few metals have they can carry conductor. That is why few metals are called good conductor of electricity, because they are having free electrons inside the wire, so they are moving and they are responsible for the current. Okay, so this is the case. Now what happened here? Now here what happens, since the electrons are moving, then what is going on? Maybe some of the electrons, while they are moving, they give dash and they give, means a friction will occur to this atom. So due to the friction, what happens? Heat will produce. That what in the electricity, the last part, in the last part of the lesson, you can see heating effect of the current. So how heat comes? So here, since the electrons are moving, protons are already there, positive charge is already there, they means by rubbing each other, they create heat. They create heat. So heat is produced, and that heat we are converting into some electrical appliances like oven, it requires heat, iron, that requires heat, geyser, that requires. So this heat we are just with the technology, we are just improving it, we are using it in the appliances wherever heat is required. So here, so this is called means what? Heat, that is why heat is producing. Now, I will just explaining you the second part of this one. If you are not understood, please rewind the video and try to understand it once again. It's because this is very important for the science student. Okay. Now, Ohm's law. So, Ohm's is a person who has given his law. His law is simple, nothing. Suppose whatever the source is there, bulb is where this is wire, and here we are just applying wire. Okay. Now this is battery. How much volt the battery is giving, that much current is moving in a wire. Means, okay, so here V is potential difference. So if we increase V, what happens? Current will also increase. That means Ohm's law always states that potential difference is directly proportional to the current. If V is increasing, if we apply one more battery, one more volt will come, so current will also increase more. So if it is more, it is more. Okay. Now we have to remove this proportionality sign, and instead of that we have to give some constant one. Now what happens? Now in a wire, what happens? Number of electrons are there, number of protons are there, all electrons will move, and while moving they will rub with each other. While rubbing with each other, just a resistance is occurring. Resistance is occurring. Resistance is nothing but a disturbance in the movement. One way we can say it is opposes friction. What is friction? Friction is nothing but opposes the motion. If it is going like this, if suppose this is a body is moving like this, if I give us an obstacle like here, if I just touch on, what happens? The movement will it will get some disturbance in the movement. How freely it is moving, but here what happens? The movement will stop or it will decrease due to this friction. So that friction will occur here during the motion, because current is nothing but a flow of charge. So when the charges is flowing, due to friction, the charges may decrease. So that means resistance is the thing where the current can decrease. Here, although the volt is there where the current is increasing, but since the current is increasing, what happens? Some of the part here, friction, resistance may decrease. So that means it will vary. So what happens? Volt is inversely proportional to the resistance. So here what happened? To remove this proportionality sign, we will just Q and we will write R. R is nothing but resistance. Okay, R is nothing but resistance. So here we got V is equals to IR. So here we can say I is equals to V by R. We can derive so many formulas from here. So this is already I have told you in the first part, two formulas I have given you, isn't it? And here one more formula, V is equals to I into R. You just remember where R is nothing, the resistance, and here this is Ohm's law. Ohm's law is nothing but very simple. Now just we will discuss about the resistance. Resistance which opposes the flow of charges. Now these are resistors. Resistors are nothing but a device. It will be like this, the symbol. So the symbol of resistance is like this. Now this we can put here. So it means what happened? Resistance will, what will they will do? Just they will decrease the flow of current. Suppose this is 10 ohms. Ohm. See, this is a symbolic representation of ohm. The value of this resistor is 10 ohms. Suppose two resistors are there and I have added and I have connected in a series. Now what actually the resistance will do, that I am just explaining a very simple matter. Suppose 100 volt current I have applied to this end. Okay, 100. So 100. Now here what happened? Till here it is 100 volt is coming. When the 100 volt is crossing here, 10 ohms is decreasing. So here at this end we will get 90. At this end we will get 90. So again this 90 is going on, but when it's crossed, again 10 decreases, so here we will get 80. So that means 20 is decreasing. So that is the case with resistance and all. Now resistance, we have voltmeter and we have ammeter. Ammeter, I have told you, is nothing to detect the current, and voltmeter is nothing to detect the potential difference across this one. Now ammeter is connected in series, and whereas voltmeter is connected in parallel. How it is connected in parallel, that what I'm just going to explain you. Now we will see the how resistors are connected. So resistors are connected in two ways. One series connection, and another one is parallel connection. Okay, one series connection, one parallel connection. Suppose we have three resistors. One resistor we have 10 ohms, another resistors we have, suppose 10 ohms we will take, and we have one more resistors of 10 ohms. Okay, we have three resistors. You have been given three resistors, and I will ask you to connect it in series. So what you will do? You will connect one resistor here, another resistor here, another resistor here. This is R1 is 10 ohms is equals to 10 ohms. We'll write small r. R2, this is also 10 ohms. R3, this is also 10 ohms. Now what will be the equivalent resistance? सब मिला करके total resistance कितना होता है? So see, in series, total resistance will be R1 plus R2 plus R3. So simple. R1 is 10, R2 is also 10, R3 is also 10, total 30 ohms. So total resistance. So equivalent resistance, EQ means equivalent resistance, is 30 ohms. Okay, so just try to understand this. This I have explained you how resistors are connected in series and what will be the equivalent resistors if all the resistors are connected in series. Now, if same resistors, if I'll tell you to connect it in parallel. Now what happens? Here, I just want to explain you to connect it in parallel. So in parallel, in series I have connected like this. Parallel connections will be what, like it will be, see here, one resistance here. This is R1 is equals to 10 ohms. Another resistance. This is R2, this is also 10 ohms, and this is R3, 10 ohms. See the difference. Series connections all are connected in a single line. Parallel means we have connected this resistance, given resistance, in parallel to each other. Now what will be so here the equivalent resistance is nothing, just the sum of all the resistance is equivalent. But here what will be the equivalent resistance? Remember, so here we will completely add Req will be 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. Remember it very carefully. When it is series, simple, but when it is parallel, we have to add in such manner. Now 1 by 10, the value of R1 is 10, plus 1 by 10, plus 1 by 10. All the LCM is, this is 1 by Req. Now again 1 by Req, LCM is 10, okay, but 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3. So here I am explaining you. After this, come to here. So 1 by Req is equals to, we got 3 by 10. Now we need R. So equivalent resistance will be, just make it inverse, 10 by 3, nothing but 3.33 ohms. See, same resistance when it is connected in 30, and same resistance when we have connected in parallel, we got just 3, less than 3.5, okay, 3.33. Now very carefully remember that two types of connections are there, one in series connections, one in parallel connections. When it is series connections, we have to simply algebraically we have to add R1 plus R2 plus R3, simple 30. And here in parallel connections, so that means 1 by R equivalent resistance will be 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. Put the value, whatever values is given, you see 3, and at last we have to make it the reciprocal of this. 10 by 3 divided, we will get 3.33. So this is the case of parallel connections and series connections. Okay. Now you see, I have just explained you resistance. Suppose this is a wire, okay, this is atoms, and these are the free electrons which move inside, okay. So while moving, what happens? A friction creates a resistance occurs. So this resistance will depend on few factors. Very first factor is that, you just remember that length of the wire. If the wire is, suppose it has some particular length, what happens? Friction will be more, resistance will be more, means the resistance will affect. If it is more length, more friction will get, the friction will last till here. So the very first factor is that, just remember that the very first factor, on what factors does the resistance depends? The very first factor is that the length of the wire. Remember? So length of the wire also, it is one of the factor for the resistance. And second, area of cross section. Second is area of cross section. What is area of cross sections? If a wire is suppose thin, somewhat friction will come. So wire is more thick, some more means area of cross section. This length is called area of cross section, कि वायर कितना मोटा है. पहला फैक्टर तो कितना लंबाई पर, दूसरा उसका मोटाई पर, that we will say area of cross section. Okay. Now third, temperature. Outside temperature also we have to see, क्योंकि टेम्परेचर से भी वायर में थोड़ा सा कॉन्ट्रैक्शन ये होता है. सो देयर ऑल्सो फ्रिक्शन में भी कुछ रेसिस्टेंस में भी इफेक्ट करता है टेम्परेचर में. एंड द वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फोर्थ फैक्टर इज दैट द नेचर ऑफ द वायर. हर वायर में एक जैसा रेसिस्टेंस नहीं होता है. टंगस्टन वायर एक होता है. टंगस्टन वायर आप देखेंगे क्या होता है. टंगस्टन जो बल्ब के अंदर, जो अभी तो खैर हमारा CFL बल्ब आ गया, पहले के जो बल्ब होते थे, बल्ब के अंदर में एक तार होता था. ये तार ऐसे होता था, इज़न्ट इट, और ये पूरा बल्ब का कनेक्शन होता था. ये जो वायर है ये टंगस्टन है. इसमें ज़्यादा टेम्परेचर यानी इसका मेल्टिंग पॉइंट बहुत हाई है, बहुत जल्दी मेल्ट नहीं होता. ठीक है. अब कुछ और भी वायर्स है जब हम लोग हीटर वगैरह में लगाते हैं, उसमें फ्रिक्शन इतना ज़्यादा हो जाता है कि फ्रिक्शन से वो लाल होना लगता है. आप एक कांटी को ही एक पत्थर पर बार बार रगड़ते रहिए, क्या होगा? कांटी अपने आप गर्म हो जाएगा, और रगड़िए लाल हो जाएगा. सेम रगड़ाव करंट जब होता है तो करंट के इस पर जब इलेक्ट्रॉन्स जब मूव होते हैं तो फ्रिक्शन के वक्त वो वायर भी लाल हो जाते हैं. वो हम यूज़ करते हैं हम अपना हीटर वगैरह पर, गीज़र वगैरह पे, जिससे वो लाल होता है तो इट प्रोड्यूसेस हीट. उस हीट को हम अपने इलेक्ट्रिकल अप्लायंसेस में रख के, जहाँ हीट की ज़रूरत है वहाँ हीट, जैसे आयरन हो गया, आपका पानी गर्म करने का जो आयरन रॉड होता है, हीटर रॉड होता है, इमर्जन रॉड वो हो गया, गीज़र हो गया, इन सब में हम उस तार को यूज़ करते हैं जहाँ पर इलेक्ट्रिसिटी अप्लाई करने से वो तार गर्म हो जाता है, लाल हो जाता है. फलस्वरूप हमको पानी गर्म होना या आयरन गर्म होना जिस समय इस्त्री कर सकते हैं, विल जस्ट यूज इट इन अवर एडवांटेज मैनर, टेक्निकल मैनर. सो 4 फैक्टर्स आर दैट. द वेरी फर्स्ट फैक्टर इज दैट लेंथ ऑफ द वायर. सेकेंड है आपका एरिया ऑफ द क्रॉस सेक्शन. थर्ड टेम्परेचर. एंड फोर्थ है नेचर ऑफ द वायर. वायर क्या है, कॉपर का है तो एक प्रकार का फ्रिक्शन, एल्यूमिनियम है तो एक प्रकार का फ्रिक्शन, आयरन है तो अलग, सिल्वर है तो अलग, तो ये सब के अलग अलग फ्रिक्शंस भी होते हैं। ओके, नाउ अब हम लोग कुछ डिस्कस करते हैं। दिस आर एक्टिविटी, मैं मोटा मोटी इलेक्ट्रिसिटी चैप्टर में यही था। मैं कुछ आपको क्वेश्चंस जो बुक के अंदर के हैं, वी विल जस्ट डिस्कस दैट क्वेश्चन। सो ओके, नाउ सी, आपके टेक्स्ट बुक एनसीईआरटी टेक्स्ट बुक इलेक्ट्रिसिटी चैप्टर का पेज नंबर 213 का क्वेश्चन नंबर 1 देखते हैं। ड्रॉ ए डायग्राम क्वेश्चन मिला आपको। अब एक बार बुक लेकर आइए, उसको खोलिए और देखिएगा क्वेश्चन नंबर, पेज नंबर 213 का क्वेश्चन नंबर 1 ड्रॉ ए डायग्राम होगा। तो जिसमें दे दिया गया है आपको 3 सेल्स दे दिया गया है 2 वोल्ट ईच। तीन सेल है 2-2 वोल्ट के हैं। 3 रेसिस्टर से, एक 5, एक 8, एक 12, 3 रेसिस्टर्स आपको दिए हैं और एक प्लग की, ऑल कनेक्टेड इन सीरीज, सभी सीरीज कनेक्टेड में करते हुए एक डायग्राम बनाना है। तो सबसे पहले हम कैसे डायग्राम बनाएंगे? 2 वोल्ट की 3 बैटरी है। ये बैटरी नंबर 1, ये बैटरी नंबर 2, ये बैटरी नंबर 3 है। हमेशा बड़ा लकीर पॉजिटिव चार्ज होता है, ये नेगेटिव चार्ज होता है। हम इसको ले जा रहे हैं ऐसे, ठीक है, ऐसे लेकर चले गए। अब हमको एक काम करते हैं, ठीक है, इसको हम नीचे ले आते हैं, बैटरी ऊपर रख करके नीचे ले आए, ठीक है। अब क्या हो गया, ये तो कनेक्टेड हो गया। एक प्लग की बोला है, हम यहाँ पर एक प्लग की देते हैं सीरीज में, ये की है। फिर 3 रेसिस्टेंस सीरीज में कनेक्टेड करना है। ये हुआ सीरीज नंबर, कनेक्ट नंबर 1, नंबर 2 इसी सीरीज में है, कहीं पर भी कर दीजिए, ये नंबर 3। ओके, तो प्लस है तो प्लस की और ही करंट ऐसे भागेगा, ठीक है। यहाँ पे लिख देते हैं, ये 5 ओम्स का था, ये 8, ये R1 था, R2 आपका 8 ओम्स का था और R3 आपका 12 ओम्स का था। ओके, ये आपका ये है। अगर आपको बोलेगा एमीटर भी कनेक्ट कर दो, तो हम क्या करेंगे, कहीं पर भी सीरीज में, कहीं पर भी वायर में, कहीं पर भी काट के, यहीं पर हम काट के एमीटर लगा देंगे। ये क्वेश्चन में नहीं है, हम बता रहे हैं। अगर एमीटर होगा तो इसी वायर को कहीं काट के एमीटर कनेक्शन कर देते हैं। नाउ यू सी, उसी, अब आते हैं पेज नंबर 216। पेज नंबर 216 में देखिएगा आपको, नहीं सॉरी, पेज नंबर 216 नहीं, इसी का क्वेश्चन नंबर 2। अब इसको एमीटर होगा तो कनेक्टेड कर दो। नाउ यू सी, इसी पेज का क्वेश्चन नंबर 2 में सेम क्वेश्चन है। अब बोला है कि इसमें वोल्ट मीटर लगाना है 12 वोल्ट रेसिस्टर के पास। 12 वोल्ट रेसिस्टर के पास आपको वोल्ट मीटर लगाना है। एंड अब इसके बाद आप मेरा पहला पार्ट वीडियो देखिएगा इलेक्ट्रिसिटी का, उसमें मैं सीरीज़ और पैरेलल के बारे में बताया था। एमीटर हमेशा सीरीज़ में कनेक्ट किया जाता है और वोल्ट मीटर पैरेलल में कनेक्ट किया जाता है। बट कहाँ बोला है? एट 12। क्वेश्चन नंबर 2 की बात हो रही है, एट 12 तो हमारे यहाँ पर है। तब हम क्या करते हैं, यहाँ पर हम वोल्ट मीटर लगाएंगे। वोल्ट मीटर हमेशा, अगर 8 बोलता तो यहाँ पर हम कनेक्शन देते हैं। तो देखिए पैरेलल, यानी रेजिस्टेंस के पैरेलल में वोल्ट आता है और ये सीरीज में आपका एमीटर आता है। यही है, वोल्ट हमेशा पैरेलल कनेक्शन में ही दिया जाता है। ओके, और एमीटर जो होता है, जो करंट डिटेक्ट करता है, वो हमको, क्योंकि वोल्ट मीटर वोल्ट बताता है, पोटेंशियल डिफरेंस बताता है और एक करंट बताता है। ओके, सो दिस आर। नाउ वन मोर क्वेश्चन विल डिस्कस। Okay, page number 216 का question number 4. You take out the book and take out page number 216 and you see that is inside textbook का है। question number 4 देखिए, you got 3 resistors, 2 ohms, 3 ohms and 6 ohms। आपको 3 resistors दिया गया है, 2 ohms 3 ohms 6 ohms का। अब इसको ऐसे कनेक्ट करिए, हमको नहीं बोला कि किस में कनेक्ट करना है, सीरीज में कनेक्शन करना है, पैरेलल में कनेक्शन करना है, दैट वांट it was not asked in the question, it's up to you how you will connect that the total resistance will get 4. Again how you will connect that the total resistance will be 1 ohms. Now you see, if we have only two connections, one is series connections, one is series connections में देखते हैं, series connections क्या, you simply add करो, 2 + 3 5, 5 + 6 11 ohms। तो ना यार 11 ohms यहाँ पूछा, 11 ohms यहाँ भी नहीं है ये, तो इसका मतलब सीरीज कनेक्शन में आंसर नहीं आएगा। यू जस्ट थिंक। अगर हम पैरेलल कनेक्शन में देखते हैं तो सबसे पहले देख लेते हैं, R1 2 ohms था, R2 3 ohms था, R3 6 ohms था। सीरीज में तो हो नहीं रहा क्योंकि 11 आ रहा। पैरेलल कनेक्शन देखते हैं, पैरेलल कनेक्शन क्या होता है, 1/R इक्विवेलेंट इज इक्वल्स टू 1/R1 2, 1/R2 3, 1/R3 6। इन सब का एलसीएम आता है 6, 2 3 जाता 3, 2 + 1, 6/6 कटता है 1। तो हमें ये तो नहीं आया बट ये आंसर आ गया 1 ohms। तो इसका सेकंड 1 ohms तभी आएगा जब हम तीनों को हम पैरेलल कनेक्शन में दे रहे हैं, तब हम इसको क्या करेंगे, सीरीज में भी तो नहीं आ रहा, पैरेलल में भी नहीं आ रहा, तो हम क्या करते हैं, कुछ पैरेलल, कुछ इसमें से कुछ को पैरेलल कुछ को सीरीज कर सकते हैं, हम अपना दिमाग लगा के यूज़ कर सकते हैं। ओके, हमको सेकंड का आ गया, फर्स्ट वाला ट्राई करते हैं। यू जस्ट कॉपी दिस वन। ओके, तो इसका फिगर बनेगा, ऐसे बनेगा। सेकंड फर्स्ट जो भी बना दिए थे उसका फिगर बना रहे हैं। ये पर था 2 ohms, ये 3 ohms, 6 ohms, इक्विवेलेंट रेसिस्टेंस हमको 1 ohm मिल गया था, R इक्विवेलेंट वाला। अब इसके लिए 4 के लिए क्या करते हैं, हम एक काम करते हैं, पहले इन दोनों को पैरेलल कनेक्शन में देख लेते हैं। तो अगर हम इसको ऐसे करते हैं, एक सीरीज दे दिए यानी 2 ohms दे दिए, फिर इसके बाद हम ये आपका R2 3 ohms था और ये 6 ohms था। ठीक है, अब देखते हैं, पहले इन दोनों को देख लेते हैं। पैरेलल कनेक्शन क्या था, 1/3 + 1/6, एलसीएम तो 6 था ही, 3 2 ज़ा 2 + 1 मिलाने से 3/6 कटता है 1/2, यानी 1/REQ 1/2 हुआ। तो R इक्विवेलेंट क्या होगा, इसको घुमा देते हैं तो इक्वल्स टू 2 आ गया। ठीक है, तो दैट मीन्स ये पूरा 2 था, अब ये 2, अब ये पूरा सीरीज में हो गया। सीरीज में इसका जो वैल्यू 2 आया, तब क्या होगा, 2 + 2, तो फिर दैट मीन्स 2 + 2 इज इक्वल्स टू 4 ohms। ओके, एक्सरसाइज में भी आपका ऐसे क्वेश्चंस है जहाँ आपको 3 या 2 रेसिस्टेंस दे दिया जाता है, अब दिमाग लगाइए। हमारे पास 2 ही चीज़ है, आइदर सीरीज और पैरेलल। अब नहीं है तो कुछ सीरीज में देखिए, कुछ पैरेलल में देखिए, सब 3-4 ट्राई करके देखिए। अगर हमको ऐसा आंसर नहीं आता तब हम क्या करते हैं, दोनों को पैरेलल बना देते और यहाँ पर हम 6 वोल्ट ले आते, उसको भी देखते हैं, यानी कैसे भी हम ट्राई करते हैं। सो दिस ऑल विल बी ईजी ओनली इफ़ यू प्रैक्टिस इट, because practice will make you more perfect. It's a very important chapter, बहुत important chapter है। इसका एक और पार्ट रह गया है, later I will explain you heating effect of electricity। उसका भी अब हम घर में कैसे कनेक्शंस करते हैं, घर का जो हाउस होल्ड घर का कनेक्शन सीरीज में होता है या पैरेलल में होता है, so that what we will also discuss in the coming episode. So till here you just practice it, so it will give you much of the knowledge from the lesson. But after seeing this video, and I request you just to read the book also. And one more final request, please share these videos as much as you can. Please watch it very carefully, and you if those who are new, subscribe. Tell your friends to subscribe my channel. Okay, till then we'll see you. So okay, so we'll see you in another episode with another interesting topic. Till then, bye.